Karen. Go, Karen.
Hey, how's it going?
COVID. All right. What's, 8:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday night, 12/29/2021. Hooray. It's almost time for Michigan, Georgia, and Alabama, Cincinnati. The two SEC teams losing to the two Midwestern teams. Hooray. Although Karen's rooting for Alabama. Nordexa gifted a sub. Anyway, if you want to become rich, which you don't, then fly somewhere where gambling is legal and bet on Cincinnati because, Cincinnati's going to lose, but the line's 13.5, which is stupid. That's just because, everybody hates Cincinnati because they're always bad. Everybody loves Alabama because they're always good. But this ain't always.
Thank you, Jay, for E-Press.
I mean, the right line's probably like 6.5. 13.5. Jesus Christ.
Did you thank Nordexa? Thank you, Nordexa, for the 5 gift subs.
Mm-hmm. And also, obviously, bet on Michigan. They should be the favorite, and they're the underdog. So, if you bet on the two underdogs, you'll be billionaires, and then donate that money to us.
People are loving your shirt.
So probably Karen hates this shirt.
My least favorite.
This shirt was given to me I have more than one at a chess camp in Michigan about, 12 years ago. Yeah, it has the knight. Yeah.
That's pretty unattractive, the shirt.
But I'm so attractive, it doesn't matter. That's the important thing. Yeah.
You like it, Sven? Well, it's
Why
all
do you
right.
hate that shirt?
I don't really
Wait,
care that
Sven
much
likes
about
it? Okay, never mind. I don't like it either then. Yeah. It was a small price to pay. Good. Yeah. If only there was a Karen Feingold.
Close. Hey, Lloyd, what's up?
Yeah.
I answer to, a variety of names.
Go Hype Train, level 3. Thanks for the Nordexa.
Thank you, Nordexa, for all those gift subs, too.
Can you upload your intro onto YouTube? It's literally the best. No, because then it would be like we'd put good content out there. We don't do that.
We would get some strikes. We can't because of the music.
Well, Karen has COVID and I don't. That's how we're doing.
Yeah, it's just status quo. I feel pretty much okay. I just have a little bit of sinus pressure, but
somebody teach Elevation Allah how to use the internet.
I feel normal.
Yeah.
Almost.
And then yeah. Yeah, he's right though. My channel's not showing up on followed channels.
Yeah, that is weird because
that's what this guy just said. He said I'm shadow banned. And then he started singing Shadow Dancing.
There you are.
Yay. Yeah. The thing is you have to refresh because I stopped the stream and started again. Yeah. Right. Also, shadow banned is something you made up. So a friend of ours who I talked to today on the phone, refresh your streams. Have a 4-year-old show you how the internet works. Anyway, he said when he watches my stream, he can't see the chat. Like, he can see that, like, there's chat here, but he doesn't see chat here.
When he watches it live?
Yeah, and
he probably he clicked that thing and he can't figure it out.
I told him to get a child to show him how the internet works.
Who is it?
Tom Monk.
Oh, Tom Monk?
Yeah, he's like 80. So yeah.
I mean,
and by 80, he's like 40.
I guarantee you
he doesn't. I mean, all you guys don't know how the internet works. You're like, how come they don't know how Twitch works? How come they'll get their stream going? You guys can't do anything. Yeah. But yeah, if you ever want to do stuff on the internet, make sure you have a small child there to help you when you have trouble. So forth.
Probably he's banned. It could be that he's banned.
Yeah. Shadow banned.
I've seen Tom Monk speaking here before.
Right, but now he's not banned. He's old and can't use the internet. Yeah. If he did chat now, like he could be watching now, he'd be the oldest person in history ever to chat on the internet. What is he, like our age?
Probably.
Yeah, so that's nobody does that. Yeah. Let's see. Dumb questions. Go Spencer. Ben had complications a few months ago. That's not true. Microphone looks like a wine bottle. That's not true. You're not that old. That's not how you spell your. You just dunked on yourself. That's not true. Benny Hayes subscribed. Some of us are a more advanced age. That's not true. Everybody on the internet's like 12. All right. Go Hype Train. When the Hype Train ends, I'll start the stream.
Manu says, I was old before you were born.
Yeah. So what we're going to do today, now as you all know, they don't know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Bone Salad.
There's about 170 players in the tournament, which means there's approximately 85 games around. And they played 12 rounds today. Mm-hmm. So there were approximately 1,000 games played today, give or take, depending on, withdrawals and stuff. One person withdrew after round 5. But anyway, of those 1,000 games, I analyzed each with a fine-tooth comb, and then Karen was furious because she was looking for it all day. Then she took it back and gave me a wide-tooth comb, right? Yeah. So I found 10 very bad blunders, and obviously I probably could have found about 400, but, I found 10 and then I was done because, content and stuff. It's Blitz chess, so there's a lot of blunders. Time control is 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
That's a joke. Please laugh. I don't need to be told when to laugh.
Yeah.
I'll laugh when I want to laugh.
Now, go Hype Train. Thanks, Zing. Okay. Now, as you all know, the leader after today's Blitz, the 12 rounds, is Andrew Tang. I think he has 11 and a half. Is that right?
I didn't see any of the tournament.
Yeah, I think Andrew Tang has 11 and a half out of 12. And then second is Hans Niemann. He has 11. And third is, I guess, Eric Rosen. And then fourth is a tie with John Bartholomew and Hikaru. And sixth is Eric Hansen. Have they? And seventh is Botez, both of them. First one, then the other. So seventh, eighth. Right? Those are the streamers they've heard of, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, in the fantasy land that all of you live in, that's the results. In the real world, where you know nothing about chess or anything else for that matter, everybody you're rooting for is in last place. Sorry. Okay. So we'll start with this game. This game confused the audience. Now, I don't want to call this a blunder for several reasons. One is it's a blitz game and they both have 10 seconds left. So I'm not calling, and this is a series of blunders. This is like, there's probably a universe, could be this one, where two super engine computers are watching this tournament and they're just laughing themselves silly. Could be this universe, but there's some universe where that happens, where, like Ceci and, some other are just laughing and laughing and laughing at these games. Because to them, these are just big blunders and there's so many of them. Now, we're humans and we're not as good as these players, so we got nothing.
Hey, Sum Trucker. Thank you, Hopeful Flipper.
That's correct, Kangaroo. Very good.
Hammer's commentary.
Oh, yeah, Gedmator is also tied for first.
I can't get past the voice. You do a pretty good imitation. What?
I'm imagining, but listen, I'm imagining in this, like, whatever this is, 21-round tournament, there's 9 games tomorrow, how many points did Gedmator we got?
More than me.
No. Nope.
Yeah.
No.
He's like Terminator, isn't he, CL Smith?
Zero's not more than 0, is it? So, no. Yeah, 0. Bonarici's correct. Mine is 21. That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the great Carlini, he's also tied for first, but I forgot about him. Does the Gedmator play chess? I mean, I guess. I can't prove it. Yeah. All right. But anyway, all the streamers that you've heard of, they're all winning the tournament. Okay. Now, yesterday, one of the gawking rabble was like telling me I have to apologize when Andrew Tang finishes in the top 10 in the tournament. It's much more likely that Donald Trump is the greatest president of all time than Andrew Tang is finishing in the top 10.
They're probably just trying to get you going.
No, they think Andrew Tang's good. Andrew Tang is world class at Ultra Bullet on the internet. Other than that, I have no comment. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Naroditsky's not playing in the tournament, but he's tied for second. Okay. That's right. Go Trump.
Hey, he's a DJ 88.
Yeah. Okay. Now watch this. This is super complicated, but it gets us to our king and pawn endings that you studied recently. Yeah.
Hey, what is... I can't see the name of...
Okay, so white is Daniel Dubov. He's in the news lately because he was helping Carlson.
Magnus,
Yeah. And then Abimanyu, which is the only good Abi in the world, not the American one who's is a grandmaster. Peranik. Yeah, he's good. Yeah. Okay, so this game's obviously a draw because you can't win. It's a good reason why it's a draw. Okay, the one winning idea, although there's two winning ideas, the one winning idea that's obvious is rook takes pawn, bishop takes rook, king takes, and that just loses because black queens. So they moved around and around and around and around and around, and both sides made about 7 blunders. Now, when I say they're blunders, I mean like if two engines were playing, you would assume that somebody finagled with the engine because they don't play this badly, ever. But they're humans, and even though Dubov is like top 20 in the world in blitz chess and slow chess, and Abi's the best Abi in the world, the truth hurts. Okay, so black played king d8, and he's just chilling. Okay, king f5, king e8, exclam. Now, I'd like to point out, for those of you that are confused, king c8 loses. And king e8 does not lose. And you would think, but now I don't think, because I see the rest of the game and you don't yet. You would think if he played king e8 instead of king c8, he suspected king c8 lost. But he did not suspect that. So I think it was like everything draws, I'll do whatever I want. That's what I think. But king e8 does draw, and bishop moves that defend the pawn draw, and king c8 loses, but he didn't do that. Okay. Now, why it loses, we're going to show later.
I'm about to say, because
we're going to show later.
I'm not able to see that.
We're going to show later.
All right.
Okay. So king e5, king d8. This move is silly, but it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. And king b7. Okay. So now black can just be hanging around, right? Like in rounders. Hanging around. But instead of hanging around, this is just a draw, nothing's happening. Okay. He decides, instead of hanging around, that now it's time to go to the back rank, which doesn't make any sense. However, it is a dead draw. So probably he was being lulled into a false sense of security because white hasn't been trying to win. White just moves his king and rook around.
Right.
But there's no reason to put your king on the back rank, but it's okay. It doesn't lose. All right. So his king's stuck on the back rank. Okay. And now he made the losing move, if I remember the game. King b8. And now white's winning. And Leko and Gustafsson, which is the only commentary we watch, it's barely watchable. Not only are they bad commentators, I used to think Leko was a good commentator until I watched him a lot. But Jan is sick. Jan shouldn't be commentating. He stops his microphone and leaves the room a lot and coughs.
Oh, really?
He's coughing all the time. And also his daughter's bugging him during the stream, which I like. He has a very small child, and she's like, rawr.
Cute,
right. So. I like that. But he's he's sick. So he's coughing. He's choking on his own rage, basically. Okay. And Leko and Gustafsson were pointing out whenever black played king b8, the engine went crazy, but they didn't know why. Then they knew why when the game. Okay. So here's what white did that was genius. And this is something nobody will ever understand except Dubov, me, and other super GMs. Dubov made it look like there was no possible way to win by moving around randomly. Mm-hmm. Genius. And then Abi's like, all right. So what happened, which you guys don't know about, I have information you don't because I'm a grandmaster, is this, they thought it was such an easy draw, they put the other obby in the American one.
Yeah.
That's why black ended up losing. Okay. So king f2 double question mark. King f4 wins. Okay, but we'll discuss why later. Now it's a draw again. King b8 double question mark. King d8 draws. Okay, king h4 question mark. In this position, rook takes g4 wins. Something that neither player noticed. And if the king is on these squares, white's winning. If the king is here, it's a draw because we can get the opposition against this king.
Get in there, yeah.
Okay, but now we can't. And Dubov didn't know that because Dubov didn't have any time on his clock. Also winning is what he did, and now he has to play rook takes, which wins, but he didn't. And then that loses, and king d8 draws. So every move black is blundering and white is blundering. Now it's a draw again, and then that's a blunder. He has to play king d8. We're going to show you why later. And finally, he took the pawn. Okay. And we're going to show you why king d8's better. Yeah, and now this is an elementary winning king and pawn ending. This king can't stop this king. This king's coming. We're going to shoulder you and so forth. So the only way to not lose is to try to, do that.
Yeah.
But that loses. Okay, and it's also very similar to the end of my game with Gennady Sasonko from ORA 1989. Unless it was 1990. Right, sweetie? Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, she said yeah. Okay, so he played here, and then it says there because white played king here, and the game ended, and they put the kings here. So whenever the last move is this for either side, and the move doesn't make any sense, that means the move wasn't played. That's what that means. That means they put the kings in the center, but the computer didn't record the correct king e6. Now in this position, black has two moves of note. Mm-hmm. King here and king here. He chose to resign instead. If king here, this wins. As they like to say on my stream, trebuchet. Mm-hmm. Me? Okay, ball. Now Karen.
Yeah.
If he had played here, what's the one winning move for white?
Let's see. King d7.
Right. Yeah, then king here, then here. Right. Now, this was first named by me, this maneuver, and it's called the back that ass up maneuver. That's what it's called. You go here, then you back that ass up. Yeah. Now, let's go back, and let's pretend that black was a strong player, okay? And he played king d8, which he did earlier. He played king d8, king e8. That was all correct. Mm-hmm. Now, if we ever sack this when the king is on here, of course, the king here, white can never take that because white's going to lose. But, all right, that's a different story. So black needs to play king here, king here, king here, Papa John's, okay? But understandably, black doesn't like Papa John's. Very understandable. So now if we take, okay, now it's a draw because now we're threatening here. So if black goes here and here, that's good for black.
Right.
So white has to go here. There's no other move. And then opposition draw. And also king f4 is a draw because opposition draw. Okay, also Operation Dumbo. Also king e6 draws. So all black had to do to draw was what he was doing much earlier in the game. Then he forgot what he was doing. Okay, he put his king on, he played king d8, right? Mm-hmm. And then he played king b8 losing, and then 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 he lost. So he made the losing move like 7 times in a row. And to be perfectly frank, this is the only way to try to win. Because if you set up where the king and rook can take this pawn and sack the exchange, that's just winning for black.
Right.
So the only way to win is to take this, and he let him do it like 7 times in a row instead of when he went here sort of randomly earlier, which makes him, he can't do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's a blunder, not because it's really bad and he's ashamed of himself. that's an easy mistake to make because he's got 5 seconds on his clock or whatever, although he does have increment. The reason it's a blunder is he let White do it like 8 times in a row. That's, you can't do that if you want to be the world champion. You can't like blunder every single move. Although Magnus blundered every single move in about 4 games, so I guess you could. Yeah.
What's the rating discrepancy?
Guys, Bryant's good.
Yeah.
This is Blitz chess, so he's a good Blitz player. He's probably 26, 30 feet in slow chess. He's probably better in Blitz. Oh. Although I thought he was better in Blitz. Okay, next. If you're a YouTube editor, something. Okay. This game had several blunders and a funny ending. Now, I know from personal experience that during tournaments, MVL likes to go get a massage. So if they have massages in the hotel, MVL's getting one. He's a rich French, super GM. You got to get a massage, okay? And here, MVL probably thought he was going to have a happy ending, but it was not, right? In this position, Bassem Amin blundered. Now, Karen will explain the 2 things that separate Bassem Amin from the rest of you. Give me 2 things he does that none of them will ever do. This isn't a joke. Serious.
What he does?
What does he have and none of them can ever have it? They got nothing.
A Grandmaster title?
He's not only a Grandmaster, he's been over 2,700. He's not now, but he has been.
Super GM?
He has been, right? And then the other one is... There's like 3 in the world. He's one of them. He's a Grandmaster and... There's 3 people in the world that I know of who are a Grandmaster and he's by far the best chess player. No?
I don't know. Oh, doctor.
He's a medical doctor. Not just a doctor like Reuben Fine, who's not a doctor. Okay, so he's a medical doctor and he was 2,700. Very rare. Now, there are plenty of doctors who are Grandmasters or IMs, but usually that means they have a PhD. Also, some of them have an MBA. But you know what they do for a living? They wait tables. You know why?
No.
Because there's rent to pay.
What? He's Superfly? Or Dr.
That's the funniest joke you're going to ever hear. Complicated, yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being a doctor that's not a medical doctor.
Boo! What?
Still an accomplishment.
Yeah, Nezhmatinov was never a Grandmaster, and Ivanchuk was never a doctor. But yeah, thank you. The other 2 that I know of, there's probably more. Alex Scherzer, okay, found not guilty by a jury of his peers. True story. And Yona Koshashvili.
Yona Koshashvili.
Yona Koshashvili. Koshashvili. Okay. Not Kashashvili, not Georgi. Koshashvili. Yona. Yona Koshashvili is married to...
I don't know.
Sophia Polgar. You learn something new every day. Okay, those are all medical doctors and they're Grandmasters. And this guy's by far the best chess player of those people, if you can call them people. So this is funny. When I moved here 5-6 years ago, nobody knows. When I moved here, I had to get a new doctor because my doctor was in St. Louis, if you can call him a doctor. Anyway, so I saw my doctor, and when I filled out the forms on the line, I said I played chess or something. And the guy said, oh, I went to medical school with the guy. He's the only Grandmaster and the only doctor in the world because he went to medical school in Hungary. And I said, there's 3 of them, and you're talking about Alex Scherzer. And he said, you know Alex Scherzer? And I said, I knew Alex Scherzer before you did. So my doctor here in Roswell, Georgia, went to medical school with Alex Scherzer in Hungary. The chances of that are 50-50. Either he did or he didn't. And I talked to Alex about it, and he told me that the doctor makes really some good food. He's like, have him make this for you. So, all right. Also, R.I.P. John Madden. That's right. Okay. Now, are you ready for this? This is going to have a lot of twists and turns, this game.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a Blunder-fest. And the reason isn't because they're bad players. It's because they have no time on their clock. MVL, you all know. Now, this is not a joke, but it sounds like one. Bassem Amin is in second place right now. That's the silliest thing I've said all day, but it's true. If you go to the actual standings, Levon Aronian's in first, and Amin's in second. Bassem Amin, there's good and there's no good. He's not. Yeah. So tomorrow, he's going to get beat like one of his patients does when they don't pay their bill. Yeah. USA. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Now every move is a blunder, so you got to watch it. This position,
the chat some too.
this position, the best move is Bishop A5 because White wants to queen, and the engine says equal. Bishop A5, draw. Okay. He blundered with Bishop E7, and the reason it's a blunder is because White made the greatest move ever. He actually founded MVL. There's one move that wins for White, and MVL found it. It's the greatest move ever played. Delicious. Ace Deuce subscribed.
Bishop F6.
Close. After Bishop F6, you take it, but you have the right idea.
Oh, no, Bishop
Right.
C5.
That's correct.
C5.
Right. And now White's probably winning. Probably. So he took, got behind the pawn, and White's up a bishop. Okay? Okay. Now, normally, MVL would ask the arbiter for the wrap it up button because you just move the king up and take all the pawns. Okay, here, and that's it.
All right.
And when the black king is on f7 defending the g pawn, so let's say White does the thing I showed and Black defends his pawn. Now Black is in Wang Chung. So White just plays Bishop b2 and that's it. Okay, now grandmasters and some doctors, when there's no hope, they have to find hope. So what a lot of doctors do is they visit my mom in her nursing home because her middle name is Hope. That's my mom's middle name. Okay. And one time my mom was in one hospital and went to the other one. So the first hospital after she left, they had no hope. Okay. So Black looks like he's lost. So he gave himself some hope. He played f4.
I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now after takes, he played king here. Okay, he's trying to get it. Now, the engine says everything's perfect. Perfect. Now, in this position, White made a mistake drawing the game. He played the move f5, and I think Bishop f6 check wins. Or maybe it doesn't. No, maybe f5 is okay. Takes. Oh, maybe it was just always a draw after f4. Yeah, that's possible. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bishop f6 here. What an idiot. Bishop f6 may win.
Yeah.
But it might not. But it might. I haven't analyzed it all the way to the end. After bishop here, let me show you the reason. If you go here, you play this. Why is the bishop there? You'll see in a second. Here, takes. Now, in this position, after king h3, king here, in the game, he played h4 and he drew. Well, except he didn't draw, but I'm getting beyond. Okay, now f4. Now this is actually the game position, except White's bishop was over here. Okay, and in the game position, if White's bishop is over here stopping the pawn, if Black plays king here, we're both queening our pawns. But after king here, I go check.
Oh, okay. I need a temper.
And then that's it. White, the game's over. Okay. So now that's not really a blunder because that's too hard. Okay, it just looks like this wins. Now a brilliant move was played in this position. No. Okay, he played, let's see, where am I? Okay. He played king g5, and black played a brilliant move here.
Yeah.
Black only has 3 legal moves, but one of them draws. Thanks, cease and desist for 25 subs. Confusing Karen.
Let's see.
She's my wife, so she don't listen.
I'm trying to solve the puzzle.
But he gave 25 subs.
Okay, well, thank you.
She's always like, I have COVID. But she said that 4 years ago before COVID existed.
Can you handle thanking him while I'm like
I did thank him. I thought you'd be shocked.
No, I'm trying to focus here.
Oh, he does have 4 legal moves. I didn't see that one. That's good. I didn't see that.
Oh, you missed one?
I didn't see that.
Oh.
Because that's so dumb I couldn't see it.
So that must not be the answer.
Okay, right. Because, yeah, ridiculous. Okay.
I don't know.
So h4. If you play king here
Yeah.
or king here, and I push my pawn, your pawn can't be defended. Now, after here, this is now a drawn position, shockingly. So here, here. Now, in that previous variation I showed you, White's bishop was here, and he played f5 check.
Right.
So it was sort of genius if MVL had found. And the reason he didn't find bishop f6, bishop e5, number one, he's playing a blitz game. But number two, and more importantly, he thought, I'm up a piece, I just win. And it turns out you don't just win. Okay. Also, we haven't gotten to the blunder yet. This is the preamble. Now, for $1 trillion, say the preamble.
I don't know. Is that we the people?
Continue.
I mean, I have no chance. We the people.
You started
of
it.
the United States
Right, but also don't forget we the purple.
of America.
Yeah.
In order to form a more perfect union.
If this was Wheel of Fortune, they wouldn't give it to you because you're pausing too much.
Is that part of it? That's all I can remember right now.
We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and ensure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. America! All right. Also, I did pretty well in Jeopardy today. I was answering questions. Okay. But tell them, I did pretty good.
Yeah, you always do well.
Yeah. Well, obviously for white people. All right.
I mean, you're smart, so you do well.
What? I'm something.
Ben watched a lot of Schoolhouse Rock as a
All right.
kid.
I
Hey,
watched an average amount.
I watched that all the time, C.L. Smith. 3 is a magic number.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Okay, so they both queen. Okay. And now this is a draw because it's really drawn. This is draw. Okay, so he checked. And then he played here. And white checked. And white checked. And white checked. Okay. Now, obviously, and frankly, White's trying to win. White's like a bishop up, and he's trying to get some mating net. But there is no mating net. There is no win. Even without this pawn, it's a draw. Whoa. Without this pawn, it's a draw. If you want to see queen and bishop versus queen, if you do, there's a game, Ben Feingold, Irina Krush, U.S. Championship, approximately 2005. Approximately. I'm close. And I was dead lost the whole game. I got to queen versus queen and bishop, and I drew. But it looked like I was losing, but I wasn't when I got to that.
Okay.
Okay. So now, MVL made a bad move. He didn't follow doctor's orders. He played bishop g3, and I showed this position to Anand, okay? And he said, White's threatening Vishwanathan. White has no threat. So that's just silly. And then Amin said, I'll make another queen. And now White's lost. So White was up a piece in the ending. He's still up a piece in the ending, and now he's losing. Truth hurts. Yep, resigns. Trade queens
So
and queen.
go back for a second to write, make the bishop move. So what did he think? Before Okay.
Okay, now, as you know, MVL's,
yeah,
MVL's French, right?
Yeah.
So he was thinking retreat. And so when his opponent moved forward, he was confused. Yeah.
Oh, they were real long time. I need to get a paper towel.
And then he thought he didn't know which way the pawn was going, so he thought this was a retreat. And then after a check, he trade queens and black. So black won the piece down ending.
That's funny.
Now,
I'm gonna get a paper towel.
go Brank Foyd. What do you mean? Hey, can you give me a Perrier? After this Perrier and the next Perrier,
All right,
you know, and get some COVID on it. I need some COVID Perrier. We used to be afraid of getting COVID. Then when Karen got COVID, she was relieved. True story. She was like, I got COVID, yes. And then she started doing cartwheels. It was weird.
Not quite.
Close. Now, Spencer's watching. He will back me up if Spencer's watching. There was an employee at the St. Louis Chess Club before you were born, and he was not small. For example, he was about me and you. If you add our weight up, that's about what he was. He was smaller than that, but it was close. Anyway, when he sat in the chair at the front desk like these, he did what you did all day. He can get up. So somebody says, "Can I see this chess set?" He would roll over there and get the chess set. And eventually the bosses are like, you can't do that. You got to stand up. You can't. And there was a dress code at the chess club if you worked there. Like you couldn't look homeless. And he had a talk with the management and said like, these are the clothes that fit me. And they were like, all right.
Really?
Like, he weighed like 450. So they're like, here's some homeless.
I don't remember meeting him. What was his
No. He quit way before you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Spencer remembers all of this if Spencer's here. Spencer will back me up. Yeah.
I wasn't doing cartwheels. He's obviously exaggerating.
Yeah. COVID.
You have COVID too, Alpha. Yeah. I still have some more.
When Karen got
Isolation.
COVID, she called the medical professionals and said, what do I do? And they told her to study isolated pawn positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. True story. Yeah. Yeah, like I couldn't wear this. Well, I could, but I mean, like a normal person couldn't, because But he would. He'd be like, that fits me. Yeah, my clothes have always been double extra muscular. Okay, back to whatever it is I was doing. If you're the YouTube person, By the way, yesterday's stream where I showed a lot of the rapid stuff, all those have been made into little vignettes. And they're all on my YouTube channel now. They're between 8 and 30 minutes, depending on which one it is.
Depending on how long we talk about other stuff.
Right. I wanted to tell you something last night, but you were sleeping like a grandmaster.
Yeah.
Then you were sleeping with a grandmaster. So, and you guys will back me up, and then Karen will back me up, and then probably somebody will call me on the phone and back me up. When you first started streaming, either by yourself or with me, you were like Vishy, because you said, Vishwanathan. Karen was just sat there, and I'm like, right, Karen? And she's like,
I'm still
quiet. Now
sometimes.
she acts like a drunken sailor. She's saying cocksucker every other word, and then the words that aren't those are Naroditsky, and so forth. Now she's always doing stuff.
I'm still the quieter.
Of the two?
Yeah.
Well, that would be anybody in me.
Right, that's right.
What you can do about that? Delicious. All right. Next game. Okay. Now. The greatest player of all time is obviously Andrew Tang.
No, don't make fun of that.
No, he obviously is.
He's
okay.
a nice man.
Now, yeah, he's okay. I got nothing against him, but when you guys say he's the best chess player in the world, I got to bring him down a notch. All right. So in this position, Andrew Tang has outplayed Daniel Friedman. Now, for $1 trillion, and I think you might get this one. We need $1 trillion.
I doubt it.
Who's Daniel Friedman married to?
I have no chance.
Damn.
I don't know at all.
Come on.
I don't even know where he's from. I don't know anything about him.
He's Latvian, but he lives in Germany. And his wife is Ukrainian and then plays for the U.S. and also lives with him in Germany.
Ukrainian, plays for the U.S.
And she also lives in Germany because he lives in Germany and they're married. And they have kids. So.
Where's Anna Zatonsky from?
Correct.
That's her? Okay.
Yeah, that's Anna. And Anna Zatonsky is the only American playing in the women's section tournament. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is terrible. We could have Carissa Yip, and that's about it. But, Carissa Yip, damn, she kicked some ass in that tournament. Okay, now, the only way this move makes any sense is that it was a mouse slip, but they're playing on a real board. So I don't know. Now, up to this point, Tang has outplayed Friedman. And Daniel Friedman is a better chess player than Tang. But, it's Blitz chess, so maybe Tang is better. I don't know. And then Tang made a slight inaccuracy. Very slight. You can barely see it. Barely. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right. So it's white to move. Every move's good for white because white's up the exchange for a pawn. So any move is good. And, your rook's hanging. So you could move your rook, or you could play queen c2 or queen b1. And white's like plus 1.2 because white's up in exchange for a pawn. Instead, Andrew Tang made the slight miscalculation of queen b2. This is like Bernstein Capablanca if it was way, 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 way easier. Like if there was nothing to calculate. Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Whose turn is it?
Black.
What should black play? Yay, Justin Old Nerd subscribed.
Oh, yeah. You could, if queen takes on a2. No, that won't work. Unless you had a knight for it. I don't know, just take the queen then, I guess. Sure.
So you tried that. You tried that. Now try taking something else with the queen.
The rook on d1.
Mate.
I didn't see it first.
Yeah. Well, Tang should have been playing you. So after that, then Tang lost. Yeah.
I assume they were super, super low.
Let's move 28, so I'm going to say no. Yeah. Also, there's an increment. Yeah. Now, I want to explain the psychology of that move.
It was scary looking.
Right. I'm going to explain the psychology of this move. Okay. So weak players, and by weak I mean not top 10 in the world, like Tang. Okay, weak. Weak players, when they have these positions, they go into weak player mode. Okay? You can set it, if you have a Nintendo Wii, there's a weak player mode. That's the one you guys play. Okay? Weak player mode says, I want to trade queens. Okay? And no grandmaster who's good at chess has ever said that. Grandmasters who are good are like, what's the best move? Then they play the best move. Okay? Now, the reason Tang played this, obviously he didn't see that, but that's not the point. After this, either white trades queens, or white's going to take this pawn on g7. That was very attractive to Tang. So queen b2 to Tang was like Naroditsky to Karen. It's very attractive. Okay? And sorry, Eric Rosen. Sorry. You used to be attractive,
not even true.
Truth hurts. Yeah. Yeah. No, you said Eric was attractive.
Oh, I did say Eric was attractive.
She said not even true.
No,
okay. So he's like, ooh, this trades queens. I'm Andrew Tang. And then the other guy said, I'm Bart Simpson. Right? So, yeah. The only thing that matters here is your rook is attacked. And this defends the rook, but it hangs the rook here. So Yasser Seirawan would say touch. Okay, and then the police would investigate. And then, this is touching this. You can't move your queen away from it. Boo! Yeah. Anyway, these are... he's the greatest player ever. Okay, next. Yeah.
Oh, no, my heart. No, Eric knows I said that.
Okay, now. This is Kobalia versus Anish Giri. Now, Karen, if you'll do the honors. Okay?
Okay.
See the top 3 moves for white, and there's more. All zeros.
Yes. I
Okay?
can see that.
And it's rook and pawn against rook and pawn. Because it's all zeros.
Okay.
And white lost this game like a little bitch. Okay? And if I say little bitch, if I say it, who's the first person you think of? Anish Giri. And yet, his opponent lost like a little bitch. Amazing. Right. And this is the first game in it's December 29th, right? It's the first game in 2021 that Giri won. Pretty good. Yeah.
Who is Kobalia married to?
I don't know. Okay.
Not gonna know.
I don't know. All right. So let's have a look at the blunder, shall we? Yeah. So king g6, good. King c2, good. King here, good. Now, in this position, there's no reason to get behind the pawn because what you're going to do is you're going to queen this pawn and he's going to queen this pawn and you're going to sack your rook for the pawn and he's going to sack his rook for the pawn. So what matters here is getting this pawn up here. So this doesn't really make any sense. But it as you can see, every move draws. Okay. So he played one of the every moves that draws. Fine. Okay. Okay. Right. Now in this position, we got our rook behind our pawn. Okay. That's it. We're done there. Now we got to do that. Okay. Now, Karen, you can't play here because I take it.
Right.
So if you want to move your king up the board, like in a rook and pawn ending, and you want to play here, what move do you make?
I guess king c3.
King c3. That's the only drawing move. Otherwise, white's lost. And that's like the only move I would think of. King here, and then do that. Well, it's a draw. Okay, he made a move that makes no sense. And if I said after the game, hey, Kobalia, however you pronounce your name, why did you play king d3? I don't know what he would say. I mean, it's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Or in India.
Vishwanathing.
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand.
That move is absurd. It doesn't help me do this. I can't go here. That's 400 moves ahead. Now, Karen, what black doesn't want to do, is put the rook here, eventually do that, eventually sack, and eventually this, and it's a draw. What black wants to do, watch me cheat. You watching? Okay. Usually husbands don't tell their wives to watch them cheat, but Karen likes to watch. This gets COVID. Okay. Is you want to play here, watch.
All right.
You want to queen the H pawn, but not let him sack his rook for it.
Right.
Okay. So Giri played the only move that wins. So how does he allow himself to play that?
King g3.
Correct. Now he's going to go here. Okay. Now, if in the previous position white played the normal move, not only does white queen, or try to, he stops rook h4. God damn. Easy draw. And the way to try to win after king c3, since you can't play rook here anymore, because here this comes, is to play rook here. So this is the way you try to win. But trying...
It's first step to
failure. So you go here. Okay, here. All right, what's the only move white can play to draw here? White has one way to draw here. Thanks, Demon Bag. You're the best. Day after day.
Sure.
So you have to get your rook to the back row, okay, French style, TM back row.
Oh, okay.
And
So you can
there's many
check
ways to do it, but there's only one that draws.
Rook G8.
Right. The reason is, if you do it the slow way, I queen, you take, and I win, because my king is close enough. You want the black king to come over here, then when you sack your rook, and the king's trying to come back, c'est pas possible. So rook G8's the only drawing move. Then rook G1's the only drawing move. Although it says black's winning. Confused. King F3. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't play rook G1. You check again. You just keep checking. Yeah, actually, going back here loses. But you just check and he can't escape the checks. If he does escape and goes here, then I block the pawn and you don't win my rook. Your king's way over there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So then just, obviously if we check forever, it's a draw. Now, if you try to hide, right? Trying is the first step to failure. Trying to hide, right? Now I can go here, threatening checkmate. Yeah. And then you try to queen, check, etc. Then you go here, and then you go take the pawn. Yeah. Okay. So king c3 would draw, and he played king d3, and now black's winning. h2. Now, Giri could blunder here. Giri could play here. And now we just trade rooks, and our king is getting over here, and we draw. But Giri didn't blunder. Giri played h2, putting in an h. Right. And then the game's over. And then he resigned. So he went from like all zeros every move to just losing like it was nothing. So boo, boo. And one of the reasons there's a lot of mistakes in the end games compared to times past is, number one, this is a blitz game. Number two, when it was a slow game and it was the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, they adjourned games after 4, 5, 6 hours that they could study the end game. Now you've been playing for 6 hours and you're exhausted and you have no time on your clock. So now they play the end game bad. Yeah. So Giri was very upset after this game because he won. Very upset. And he had to commiserate with, Hikaru and Radjabov and other people who like to draw in 5 moves or so. All right, next. All right. Now, if Karen did this, we still wouldn't be married because she would kill me for me yelling at her so much. And then other people would yell at you too. Okay. In this position, White was given a lot of dollars after the game. Do you know why? Because his moves made no sense. Here, White's winning. And White's pretty good, right? You can barely pronounce his name, right? And he's 2,700 FIDE. Black has no counterplay. There's nothing Black can ever do, ever. Because queen e5 check loses the queen, assuming you're trying to perpetual me. If you try to perpetual me queen here, my knight takes. If you try to perpetual me queen here, my queen takes. So there's no square on the diagonal where your queen can check the king. So my king is always safe on h2. You can never, ever, ever, ever check me. White's up a pawn. White has 2 passed pawns. What else? So you just go here. Like, it's easy. And the engine says, like, +4. Like, you play a4, a5, a6, a7. And there's no counterplay. Black can't be, Black's going to threaten this. No, he's not. Black can't even play knight e2 check, queen a1, queen g1 mate, because there's a knight here defending g1. So basically, Black can make no threats, and White has 2 connected passed pawns. So in a slow game, with players of this level, Black could resign. Are you ready for the blunders? Okay. Queen c4, nonsensical move. Okay, that's not the blunder. That's a nonsense move. Like, I could take the a pawn now. That's nonsense. He could have played he could have done that. I don't know what that is. Now, black didn't take the pawn. I don't know why. He played here. Okay, so I don't know what this is all about. I don't know why he played queen c4. Okay, now he played the worst move in Christendom, and I'm an atheist. So that, I mean, it's really bad. Are you ready for the really bad move? Mm-hmm. Guess what white did. Guess the bad move. Guess a move white would play. It's the worst move ever.
I don't know. I mean, they took the knight or the pawn.
That would be the right. He did something that's equal to that.
I don't know.
He played queen d4, forcing the trade of queens. So what did black do?
Oh, that's funny. A knight e2.
Okay, then he resigned. Now, you guys are like, he blundered his queen, you know, what a potser. I don't care about that. I know that he didn't see knight e2 check. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to tell you why it's a blunder irrespective of seeing that. In this position, let's pretend that you move your queen. Queen c5, queen d3. We still have our two passed pawns. And if black plays knight takes pawn, we could take the d pawn. And then we have an extra pawn.
Yeah.
We're pawn up for nothing. If white didn't see knight e2 check, which obviously he didn't, okay? When he goes here, I can take this a pawn, and it's even material. So what is he doing? Why does he have two connected passed pawns, and he keeps giving his a pawn away? I understand he hung his queen, but if he didn't hang his queen, it's still terrible. Like, it's just nonsensical. The guy's 2,700 FIDE, and he gives his a pawn away every single move instead of pushing it, and then he gives his queen away because he doesn't see the fork. Why would you trade queens and give this pawn away? How about not trading queens and not giving the pawn away? And if he takes, he take that. Ridiculous. Yeah, it's just pure nonsense. Maybe he was high. There's no maybe about it. No maybe about it. Yeah.
Probably tired.
He said he left the oven on. Yeah. So that was a pretty bad blunder for 2,700. Is knight check, and he resigned. All right. That was Alexienko versus Artemiev. With names like that, you shouldn't be hanging your queen. I'm not watching this tournament to see people hang their queen. Actually, I am. And I was talking to Aviv about that. It's much more fun watching them blunder than you blundering yourself. Pukey Bogues subscribe. Good. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay. Now, I couldn't have a stream of blunders without including a Hans Niemann game. Okay, now here he's playing Irigasi, and somebody went up to me when I was in India in 2011, and they said, "Do you know which Indian player smells the worst?" And I was like, "What?" Pretty racist joke. And I said, "Who?" And they said, "Irigasi." Okay. Even though probably when I was in India, he was like 4, but that's not the point. Okay, so Irigasi's probably, not pronounced that way, probably he's younger than Hans Niemann. There's no probably about it. Now in this position, the engine says it's equal. Now obviously, opposite side castling, white's up a pawn, black has 2 isolated pawns, it's a blitz game. And the engine says every move is equal. Rook c8, rook b6, queen c5. Instead, Han makes a mistake every move the rest of the game. And they're tactical mistakes. And when you're playing Irigasi, who's a favorite probably to come in the top 10, like Andrew Tang, then, you can't make tactical blunders. Okay. Yeah, I have seen Hans talk with a fake accent in interviews. It's pretty funny, actually. Okay. So Hans played rook e8, which is okay. Now in this position, Karen, okay, what did Irigasi always play?
in this position, what did Irigasi? King B1?
Right. And the reason he played King B1, in fact, if he doesn't play King B1, he's in trouble. That's the only good move. It's a blitz game. So one thing is, you see how this is lined up on the bubble up? See? So if I could move my bishop, well, if I could move this bishop, that would attack the queen. So for example, if it was black's move here, he could sack his queen for the knight. Bishop takes queen, bishop A3 check, winning the queen.
Yeah.
But if you play King B1, you don't have to ever worry about nothing. King's never been so safe. Okay, so rookieism is not a great move. It's okay. Then he played bishop C5. This is a terrible move. Okay, and now he played an excellent move because his queen's attacked. Mm-hmm. He played queen H3. This is excellent because it defends the knight. So the knight's extra defended. Okay, and Hans played rook E3 double question mark. Now, let me explain why rook E3 is bad. It's not bad because the engine says it's bad. It's not bad because it is bad. That's not why it's bad. This is the psychology that I teach you guys every stream. And you've never listened yet. If rook E3 was a good move, if queen H3 is a terrible blunder. If you're playing your friends, then queen H3 is a terrible blunder. If you're playing Irigasi, probably queen H3 is not a terrible blunder because he saw rook E3. He saw it. Now, if white moves his queen and we take this, we know we're winning. We get 2 pieces for a rook. Okay, so what move can white play here? Well, you will know his name is the Lord.
Maybe G3.
No, because you're all hanging here. You can take everything.
Well, you got
right.
one, two, you've only got
now,
one.
you see how this is lined up with that?
What about rook D3? That's a block.
Rook D3 hangs the queen.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you see how this is lined up with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're doing is you're like, oh, no, my queen's attacked. Like Eric Rosen. Oh, no. Okay, right? But how about, oh, no, this queen is attacked?
Okay, so I guess you have to do some kind of discovered.
Okay. You could do a double discovered, triple discovered.
Knight takes D5.
Right. Now, if you play rook E3, I said if, you have to analyze this move. Because that attacks your queen, and it attacks your queen again, and it attacks your rook. And I'm taking a pawn. So if you play rook E3, you have to be ready for knight D5. Because that move could win. It could. So you got to stop that, you got to stop that, and you got to stop that. One way you could do it is by resigning. But he didn't resign. He took the knight. Give me the knight. He took the queen. He took the queen. Now, if you take the rook and knight takes, black has 2 pieces for a rook. Okay? But since the rook is hanging, and the knight is hanging, and the bishop is hanging, he just played rook takes d5. Now, white is up 2 pawns because I said so. And he's also threatening this, this, and this. So Hans resigned because lose all his pieces.
Yeah, I mean, that was everything attacking everything.
Right. So rook e3 is just an incredible blunder. And after here, he can resign. And you shouldn't hang all your pieces unless you're me. If you're 2,700 FIDE, you shouldn't do that. Although they all do it because that's the purpose of this lecture. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's more exciting.
What if queen takes e1? Good question. He said, what if I go here? I'm a genius. I'm looking, but I can't find a move that doesn't win. So let's take your queen. You'll probably take my queen, right? And then I'll take your rook, and then you resign. And there were many other ways to win also. That was the number 1 line. It was like 4 ways to win. So here's my point. When Hans played rook e3, did he see knight d5? And if he didn't see knight d5, that's fine. then why did he think Irigasi went here and he missed that? Terrible. So when you think your opponent blundered and your opponent's 2,700, maybe you should think again. But maybe thinking is not his strong suit, right? And Hans afterwards was interviewed, and he said, I thought with my fake bullshit Eastern European accent, I would play great, right? But he didn't say bullshit with an Eastern European accent, so he got caught. Yeah.
I have not seen that accent, so I'm going to have to tune in just so I can see what you
GMs don't pay entry fees. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, he thought he was woke, but now he's moke. Wow. Yeah, true story.
Hey, I'm super thirsty, dehydrated, so I'm going to have to go.
COVID.
I think it's because of all the Sudafed.
Suda?
Probably, but who knows?
So are you coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, wait then, and I'll swear a lot.
But so how many more games? Because I'm also tired,
That was 6 games, 4 left.
All right. And I might be gone for a minute, but I will return.
Yeah, 50-50.
No, I want to return, but I gotta get something to drink. Where's the? I've got it in my hand. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yay, 200 centidues. It says Karen, come back.
I'm coming back.
Oh,
I forgot my glass.
Yay, 2,000 viewers a do. Ooh, tickle. It's the COVID tickle. Hooray. Carlson would have won the World Blitz, but Andrew Tang and Naroditsky and Agad Mador and Chess and Botes sisters all came ahead of him. Did you watch Levy's video about you? Yes. So much Ben. It's like Christmas or something. That's right. Go Max Deutsch. You're an Eric fan, Rosen or Hansen? It's gonna be in the middle of January, but I don't know the details. Karen will make an announcement sometime. Now stop bothering me. I'm gonna read some emails and stuff. Let's get a train started. Go train. People of the world. By the way, I got 600 or 700 new followers on Twitter in the last 24 hours. And I only have like 11,000. So that was easily my best 24 hours. I was tweeting a lot of nonsense about the tournament, and people like that nonsense. The more nonsense you tweet, the more followers you get. Yeah, so I had like 10.7 thousand followers, and I have 11.5. Just because of my nonsense tweets. If you go to the YouTube channel, you could see recaps of all the stuff I did yesterday in short videos. So it won't be a 2-hour video. It'll be like a lot of 10, 20-minute videos. Yeah. Do I have a story about Abdu-Satorov? I mean, I knew about him in 2011 or 12 when they had the World Youth in Maribor. I was there coaching the American kids in Slovenia, and he won the World Under-8. And I've seen him in World Youth since then. And that's, and then he wins all the tournaments. You know how it is. In the Blitz, he's not doing so well. Yeah, he started out okay, and then he didn't. Let's see. I hope that's 8. Otherwise, I'm crazy. Like Fox News. Man, I haven't seen Yakov Ed in forever. Damn. Not enough arrows. It's true. No, I lost all my viewers. The more you donate, the more viewers I have, or the less I care about them. So Rookie 3 is a pretty bad blunder. He goes from like worse, much worse, to resigns. Not his strong suit. 500 centidues. I won the Missouri class earlier this month. I actually played Ken West, and Julian helped me analyze one of my games. That's pretty good. If you played Ken West, it's likely you won. Good job. Class D. It's Karen. Go, Karen.
I forgot to do the markers. So what is this next one? It's game number what now, Dimmer?
Nobody knows. Game 7.
7. Right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back. I am.
Are you tanned, rested, and ready? You drank all your drink coming back. Yeah. The Oxman Cometh. Great episode of Sunny if you change one of the words.
So you said 7?
Mm-hmm. All right. Next, yours. So next. Okay, this is the game Nakamura Sindarov. Sindarov's like 6 years old. Yeah. Now in this game, Nakamura gave Sindarov the slip as opposed to the slipper.
Yeah.
Sindarov instead of Cinderella.
Oh.
Okay. Now in this position, the engine says white is plus $1 billion. The game's over. White's up in exchange, and he's got a pass pawn that's queening. And there's 2 moves that incredibly win. One is to take, and one is to play queen e2. They're both like plus $1 billion. I'm not even sure which was better, but they both win immediately. Hikaru made an unusual move. A7, because that A pawn was too strong, so he wanted to lose it. Okay, that throws away 95% of his advantage. Now it should be a draw. H3. Now, if you play king G1, you lose. If you play king H1, you lose. King H1 obviously loses, frankly. And king here loses because check and bishop D4 check. Okay. And so forth. All right. So Naka played king F1 and black took, and now it's a draw. So A7's like an unbelievable blunder. But luckily we have more blunders in this game. Okay, queen D1 threatening here. Now, black can actually draw by defending the pawn. It looks like, if you defend the pawn, that rook F5 check, king G6, queen takes pawn wins. And that's because it does win. But you don't play king G6, you play king H6. And now if you take the pawn that you were so proud of, now you get checked ad infinitum. There's nothing you can do. You're just getting checked everywhere. In fact, he has to watch out not to get mated. But okay, it's just black just checks every move. Okay, so black can draw doing that, but black was drawing the way he played. He checked and played king F7. And king F7 is not a good move, but okay. Here, and now he blundered. He's still in the drawing zone, thanks Seaburn, by defending his pawn. Now, Karen.
Yes.
What move can black make that defends this pawn?
I guess you go queen A3.
Doesn't defend
Oh, I'm
it.
sorry, queen C8.
Correct. Queen C8, and black just chills. And white's better, because white's up in exchange, but probably a draw. Instead of defending with his king and drawing, and defending with his queen and probably drawing, he gave a Potzer sees a check, Potzer plays a check.
Was it trying to get some time on the clock?
Well, rook F1, now he loses. You can't protect this pawn. So he played queen D4 check, which has nothing to do with this pawn. Now, problem is, if you play queen here defending the pawn, this rook can now get involved in the game. And with white coming in here and coming in here, it's winning for white. Yeah, now he can't save this pawn, so it's over. Yeah, he's hung all his pawns. Okay, then he resigned because white's plus 10 now. So Naka was completely winning. Then it was a draw. Then he was slightly better, and then he won. That's what happens in Blitz. Now, to Nakamura's credit, he had 30, 40 seconds, and Sindarov had less than 10 seconds. And that's very important when you're playing a 3-minute game. That's what I try to do when I play 3-minute. I just don't do it, but I try to do it. I don't do it, but I try. So Sindarov, who eventually got drawing positions once or twice, was looking at less than 10 seconds on his clock, and he had no hope. That's because he didn't visit my mom in the nursing home. Yeah. Let's see. Hype Train. All right. 2,400 viewers. When we went upstairs, we had 800. My mom's middle name is Hope. Okay.
That's a lot of
Marker
viewers.
for game 8.
Did you get embedded or something?
Yeah, probably just everybody loves watching me.
Game, let's see. Oops.
All right.
Got it.
Okay, now this one might be the funniest of the ones I'm going to show you. That's up for you to decide. Thanks for the 5 subs, Rumble Rob. Okay, are you ready for Blunder-fest? And
Yeah.
everybody's invited? Okay, there's many blunders starting from here. This is Abdu-Satorov versus Cheparinov. Abdu-Satorov, as you remember, won the Rapid yesterday, but this isn't the Rapid. Okay, this position is a draw. It's all zeros. Now, you can't play king takes bishop because it's defended by the pawn, so it's illegal. You can't play pawn takes because it's pinned, also illegal. If you can't take this bishop, the next best thing to do would be to take this pawn on the 7th rank. God damn. Therefore, the only drawing move is bishop d5. And then you will take that and you defend this pawn.
Yeah.
And you defend this pawn. Okay, and the engine says this is correct play. And the reason is if you go here, you're losing. And then rook here pins the bishop forever, ever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever. We live in Atlanta. Okay. So after here, we go back here, threatening this pawn. We can't defend it this way because the bishop would be hanging. So you got it. So just always repeat. Okay. So the game should have ended that way. Instead, black blundered. Cheparinov did not play bishop d5. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. He played king b4. Why did he play king b4? I'm going to tell you why. Because he wants to take the bishop. See, he unpinned himself. Okay? So, so Abdu-Satorov's pretty good. He's world rapid champion. So he saw his bishop was attacked. And he played bishop c2. And the engine says good. Good. Because now black can resign. Black has nothing. I play bishop takes pawn. And that's it. Game's over. So now the engine says white is like +7 after king b4 instead of bishop d5 drawing. That's blunder number 1. And I showed this position to the count, and you know what he said after this?
No.
1. Okay.
I didn't even have the right count.
Now
I was
he
about to
played-
count in the Duke, and I'm like, what?
Now he played c3. Okay. After c3, he was PO'd because white played bishop takes e4, and there's no r2d2 because it's defended, right? Okay. Now this is obviously winning for white. This pawn's defended the most. This pawn is stopped the most. This pawn's hanging. Black can't do anything. Black can resign again. Okay? And black played bishop f5. And the engine says white is +10, +20, +30. And every move wins. Not only does every move win, If it's black's move, black can resign. Black has nothing. Black has no move. Nothing. And the engine says the easiest way to win is takes G6. I got 2 pawns, 1 for each of you. And then it says black resigns. This pawn's not dangerous. These pawns aren't dangerous. And then these pawns are dangerous. God damn. G7, rook here. Here, extra queen. Okay. And it says plus 10. Okay. But actually, if it was black's move here, black can resign. Black doesn't have any moves here. All right. Now, this is one of the worst moves of the day. Maybe when that guy hung his queen, that was worse. After bishop f5, Abdu-Satorov made the worst move he's ever made in his life. And he just won the world championship. God damn. Come on, hype train. We need 3 subs. Stat. Are you ready for this move?
Okay. Yeah.
Abdu-Satorov played rook c8. It's good, except for one thing. He was probably thinking, I'm attacking the rook, and I've defended my b-pawn. Thanks, JA928, for the 10 subs. 5 seconds too late. But we still need the 10 subs. So.
Yay, thank you, JA928. Right.
Now, that's the worst move ever. Now black has a move that draws and a move that wins. What's the winning move for black?
Wouldn't you just take the rook?
I need a move.
Bishop c8.
Yeah.
I was just trying to see why that would be bad.
I mean, white's crazy like Fox News. That's the world champion for you. One day you're a world champion, the next day you miss bishop takes rook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody makes bad errors in Blitz.
Yeah, and that's it. Game's over. And then he resigned. Now, let's assume he didn't see bishop takes rook. Okay? Can we assume that? All right. Also good is rook takes rook.
Yeah.
Okay, and the engine says this is a draw. So, I mean, here's a position where black has no legal moves. The rook is defending this. Bishop's defending this. They're both stopping this. I have a passed a-pawn later. So if it's black's move, white's completely winning. And he goes here losing to bishop takes rook. What? Yeah, horrible. And then he resigned. That's a world champion for you. So there was lots of blunders there. Black was drawing with bishop d5, and he played king here losing. And then white was winning with any legal move, and he played here losing.
They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah, and that was it. Yeah. Didn't see the bishop guarding c8? I mean, bishops move diagonally. Yeah. Truth hurts. Okay, next marker, game 9.
Okay. Hey, F-Cuck, how's it going?
The more you donate, the more funny stuff I show you. By the way, there's dozens and dozens of these because there's hundreds of games.
Wait, what number?
9.
No, I thought it was 9.
But, you know, they're playing Blitz chess. Sorry. All right.
9.
Okay. Now, this is super complicated. That's your favorite kind of complicated. This is David Anton, Rocky Horror. Now, some people said he was fat, but he's Samoan, so what do you want him to do? Right? And he's playing the guy from the city of Dam, Christian Holm. Damn, Holm. Okay, now, I can't pronounce any of Holm's names, like Stuvik, and I don't know who that is. Okay, now in this position, black has one move that draws. Okay, now Karen, what's the most obvious move for black? It's so obvious, I can't even ask you. It's too obvious.
Most
The most obvious move. It could be losing, but it's the most obvious.
Probably, let's see. Maybe knight a5.
No. That's not obvious at all. The most obvious.
Well, it's obviously not obvious if I don't know it.
It is obvious. I didn't say it was good. I said it was obvious.
Or take the pawn.
Take the pawn. Okay. Which he did not do. Taking the pawn draws. Now, at first glance, it looks like
Taking it.
bishop here, and then white wins the king and pawn endgame. Right? And probably that's why black didn't play king takes pawn. However, this is not winning. Not only is it not winning, every move draws. Doesn't matter which move you make. Doesn't matter. Now, here, if it's black's move, I just defend my pawn. But you can win my pawn.
Right.
However, once again, every move draws. Now, the funniest move that draws by quite a bit, it's not even close, is this. Now, obviously, these moves draw, because after here, if you take, I go here and I win your pawn. And if you play g4, I attack your pawn, and I'm on your pawn, you're on my pawn. So it's a draw.
Yeah.
I'm going to take, okay. It's very funny that this move draws. And now after king takes pawn, which looks like it wins, this draws. You can't save your pawn. That's funny. And so you have to play g4 to try to win. And again, every move draws. King here, king here. If you take, I win your pawn. And if you play g5, it's the same thing. I attack your pawn. Yeah. So that king and pawn ending for an engine is a dead draw. For a human, you're like, oh man, I'm losing this king and pawn ending. And the engine's like, every move draws, every move draws, every move. Like, no winning chances at all. Truth hurts. Okay. And if you don't play bishop d5 and take the knight, it's just bishop and pawn against knight and pawn, and it's a draw. But probably he thought bishop d5, bishop takes knight, king here won, which is what I would think without any analysis. That would be my general impression. So instead of taking the pawn, he moved his knight, and white defended the pawn, and then the game's over. Because now I'm going to go win your pawn, and you got to babysit my pawn. Now this is hopeless. Yeah, I mean, you got nothing here. And then he resigned. His knight's trapped, which is funny. But, yeah. So he just lost like it was nothing. When king takes pawn, the most obvious move, drew, and he probably thought that this was winning for white. And not only is it not winning, every move draws. That's crazy. Like Fox News. I wonder if this draws. If that draws, I'm going to see if it draws. I hope not. No, it doesn't. Wow. What the hell? Wow. I'm going to have to text, Magnus and Kasparov and Fischer's grave here and Capablanca. White has one winning move here. This puzzle would be too hard for like a super GM.
What's the winning move?
Here.
Oh.
Wow. That wins. And every other move does not win. That's insane. Man, that's great. That's a great king and pawn ending. Now, all these moves draw, but the fact that this loses to this, that's the greatest thing that's ever happened. The chances of him playing that are less than 0% if that position occurred. Damn. Yeah, every move draws but this, especially g4. King d6, draw. Papa John's. Wow, king e5 wins. That's the greatest thing that's ever happened. That's just great. Mm-hmm. Okay, so king takes pawn is an easy draw, and this was an easy loss. So again, if engines were watching in some alternate universe, they'd be like 97. What world is this? Yeah, it's the World Championship. Yeah, so forth. Draw agreed. Right. After king e5, we're going to try to push our pawn up, obviously. Okay, game 10.
Yeah, definitely. These positions are hard for me to look at and know that they're draws. I mean,
Right, they're hard for everybody. That's why they're barely blunders. Unless you're an engine, then they're just like, what is this?
All right, hang on. Marker 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we did it.
Yeah, that's not how you spell your. And Mr. Pessimistic, you're too pessimistic. And finally, you spelled pessimistic wrong. And the name of your thing is wrong. All right, otherwise he did good, right?
I don't even see what you're reading. Oh,
Mr. Pessimistic said, you're too hard. That's the wrong you're. You wouldn't say hard. That's like a colloquialism. And pessimistic, you spelled wrong. And I have some other things that are wrong about. Yeah. Mr. should have a cap.
He knows about blunders.
No, I'm not done yet. And also, okay. Okay, this is Fabiano Caruana against Boris Gelfand. And I asked Karen who she's rooting for, and she said, who's older? Now, I don't want to brag because I never do, right? Back me up. Okay? See? But in slow chess, I'm 2-0 against these guys. Not only am I 2-0, I've shown the Gelfand game ad infinitum times. I never show the Fabi game because I don't remember it. It's hard for me to find. But I beat the bejesus out of Fabiano. Now, he was 2,200, but I beat him like he was 200. Yeah. Yeah, he's never been beat that bad by anybody ever. I beat him so badly, Fabi, that after I beat him, he moved out of the country. He lived in the U.S. when I beat him, and 3 weeks later, he did not. He's like, I got to get out of this country. Man, this country sucks. Okay, yeah, he was like 11 or 12. Okay. So this position obviously is good for black for two reasons. Well, three reasons. He's got the two bishops, what else? He obviously sacrificed the exchange. And three connected passed pawns, what else? So now Fabi has to take the draw that is at hand, which he started to do until he didn't. And that is to keep checking his opponent. So he checked him once, he checked him twice, and then Fabi, always repeat, instead of playing for the draw, he played bishop e4 check, which does draw. So Fabi can draw, and he's like, I want to win. And he played this, which does draw. Okay, check here. Okay, now it's funny, you sort of have some, Lake always says momentum, which isn't really a chess word, but he always says it. He says he loses the momentum. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is like not momentum, but this is inertia. And that's why, even though this isn't true, but it's Futurama, so what do you want? This is why when they shot Bender out of the cannon, and they were going as fast as they could, and he was going faster, they could never possibly catch him. That's the God Particle episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What they say is he's drifting. They like to say he's drifting.
Yeah. Okay, Bender physics, that's right. Okay.
That's what they say.
Okay, what? All right, now, instead of playing the normal move, right?
Yeah.
Queen takes c4, it's a bishop, right? And then black has the obvious perpetual. Queen check, and we check forever. You can't play king g1 because your rook's hanging with check. You can't take the rook because queen takes f7. Yeah, okay, scary. So you just check, and then, it's a draw. And then we check, this is a draw, obviously, frankly. And if white wants to win, quote unquote win, then he gets checkmated. This is a very nice checkmate, by the way. See how it's check? Mm-hmm. And irrespective and irregardless in 2021, if you take this with the queen or the rook, queen g1 is mate because the escape square is no longer. It's a good mate, right? Mm-hmm. Opposite colored bishops, what else? Also, there's other perpetuals for black. So the game would have ended in a draw if Fabi had played queen takes c4. And if Fabi was playing Magnus or somebody like that, I think he would have played queen takes c4. But he's like, I'm playing old man Gelfand here, and his recollection was, I beat Gelfand. So if Fabi's like, Ben beat Gelfand, I better beat him too. Okay? And so he played queen h3. This is the inertia move. Queen h3, queen c8, queen h3, right?
Mm-hmm. I know about it.
And now after king g7, he can resign.
Yeah, no,
like,
Ben... Oh, sorry. Ben does not hit the bone cloud. His shirt does kind of look like it. Ben.
Yeah, I don't play king e2 very often. Okay, so now white can't do anything. I'm very confused. Now I have an opinion which doesn't make any sense, but it's my opinion. My opinion is Fabi didn't see this was legal. And if he did, he would have played it and the game would end in a draw because Fabi's good enough to know that white is dead lost here. Okay. Black has 3 passed pawns. The king is open. This pawn's hanging. White has no checks ever. White can't do anything. And I have a passed pawn in the 6th rank. And the engine says like plus 10 for black.
So you think he just didn't see it?
I don't know. I mean, queen h3, it's crazy what he did. He could have kept checking with his queen, or he could have taken the bishop and he played queen h3, king g7. Now he can resign. And what happens is, whenever I tell everybody the old players were good, Fischer, Spassky, Botvinnik, Tal, etc., mainly etc., you guys are like, no. The players now are much better. All right. Okay, so the game's dead lost now. So you got beat, getting beat. And when the final position, god damn. Okay, notice how the queen's defending the rook. Did you notice that? Mm-hmm. And then he attacked the queen. So if you take my bishop, I take your rook with check. So he defended his rook. And he centralized. Good. Now if you play queen takes bishop, then queen here mate with advantage. Yeah, remember, always sack the exchange. He keeps giving his bishop away because he can play mate. Now the queen has to stay on h2, otherwise it's mate. And Gelfand's taking all the squares away. Yeah. Now, when Gelfand prepared for this tournament, he wanted to take all the squares away, but since it was COVID times, right, he hired Berlin as his coach, the music group. And they couldn't help him take all the squares away, but since there's COVID, what did they help him do?
Take my breath away?
Take my breath away. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Queen h5, bishop g6. Man, the queen has to stop that. Man, Gelfand's mean. Yeah. Now what he should have done, and then we would have thrown gold coins. You ready? Mm-hmm. What he should have done is played here. God damn! You can't take it because of mate, but that's what he should have done. Yeah, that'd have been great. But he played here because, he's not in a hurry. See how much fun he's having? Notice this is the threat, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you take this, giving the exchange back, then queen h2 mate. So Fabi resigned. So basically, Fabi got beat like a little bitch. Okay? And for more little bitch references of Fabi getting beat, see the game Korchnoi beat him when Korchnoi was like 77 years old. Korchnoi was black and Rui Lopez. It was either in Isle of Man or Gibraltar. Those are the same tournaments to me. And Korchnoi won with black in like 25 moves. Okay, so remember, players now are better than players from a long time ago, except for one thing. Gelfand and Korchnoi took him to school. Now, I know you guys are like Magnus this and Jebediah that and Ezekiel this when you're talking about Magnus. And that Magnus played an old man, right? Sachko. And Sachko tore him limb from limb. Sachko destroyed Magnus today. And Sachko also was winning on time by 2 minutes in a 3-minute game. And he just destroyed him. He beat him like Magnus was nothing. And Sachko's 43. So, you guys are like Magnus. If Magnus loses to Fabi or Nepomniachtchi, okay. But like Sachko, come on. What you don't know is Sachko's wife is also a grandmaster. God damn. Tough family, right? And Sachko's Polish, and he crushed Magnus in Poland, right? So, his wife gave him an exemption tonight. He got women everywhere, right?
Right who?
Yeah, see? Yeah. To shreds, you say. That's right.
Who's the wife? I forgot who the wife.
Monica Sachko, also grandmaster.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like, you beat Magnus. He didn't beat Magnus. He destroyed Magnus. It wasn't like Magnus hung a queen. Magnus just got outplayed and crushed. He was shaking his head, choking on his rage. And usually, if Magnus does lose and gets outplayed, there's like 3 or 4 players who could do it. But Sachko, what? You never even heard of him. In fact, by me saying Sachko, you still can't spell his name. Even and you still haven't heard of him. Yeah. Yeah, husband and wife, both grandmasters. God damn. And so forth.
S-O-C-K-O.
Yeah. You see what Try No Learn said? So you did see it.
I just now saw when you pointed it out.
Yeah, the Cramlings. I'm not sure they're the Cramlings because his name's not Cramling, but Pia Cramling, the grandmaster, married Bellon, the grandmaster from Spain.
Yeah.
And then their daughter's 2300 and so forth.
I know about it.
Yeah, that's good family, tough family.
Yeah.
Yeah, harsh. Yeah. Anyway, like as a final position, like this one, it just looks like black is a better player than white. It's not like Fabi lost on time or Fabi missed a check. Looks like Fabi just got beat bad. And Gelfand, as you all know, they don't know. In 2012, what did Gelfand do? He played Anand for the World Championship. After 12 games, what was the score? 6-6. So Gelfand's no joke,
too bad.
right? And as an aside, Gelfand lasted 25 moves against me, so that's pretty good. Technically a miniature, but don't tell him. Yeah.
Why is Alexander Kostyanyuk peaking?
That is interesting. Kostyanyuk has played 2 great tournaments in 2021, and she's not young anymore. I don't think she's 40, but maybe she is. Yeah. I've been calling her Crandall. That's a good one. Good Simpsons reference.
Karen's a DM in her hearts. Thank you, Jay Simmons.
Is that J.K. Simmons? No, J.K. Yeah. So I don't understand this game. I mean, if I saw Fabi, I'd ask him. Like in this position, when he played Bishop E4, did he see this? And if the answer is no, then why didn't he just keep checking? Why did he lose on purpose? See, the thing is, Karen, after queen here, we can't escape with our king because, but after G6, now we escape with our king, and that's it. And white has nothing. So now, obviously, if somebody's a class player, that's just standard procedure, right? White just plays bad and loses. But that's Fabi. Fabi's not supposed to play like that. Not supposed to. Supposed to play better than that. So most of the blunders that we saw today, and by most I mean about half, those wouldn't be blunders for you. That would just be the way you normally play. But when Artsemeyev played knight e2 check against Alexienko, what? How did he hang his queen on d? What's going on here? So rook c8 is an absurd move by Abdu-Satorov, and queen d4 is an absurd move by Alexienko. With names like that are very hard to spell and pronounce, why are you making blunders? And the answer is it's 3-minute chess with 2-second increment. And one thing that's difficult for the players, which you guys will never face in your lifetimes, is when you play a game, let's say you go to a tournament, you play a 1300,
Yeah.
okay, and then the game's over. Who's your next opponent? A 1300, right? And if you lose and you keep losing, I said if, then you play like an 1100. Okay. In this tournament, you lose to Carlsen, and then you play Nakamura, which happened to a guy. A guy lost to Carlsen, then he played Nakamura the next round. This tournament, if you're doing badly, all your opponents are good. If you have like 3 out of 6 and somebody else has 6 out of 6, you're playing the same strength player.
Yeah, it still feels that way to me.
Yeah. And here's what's funny about
Though.
that.
Bad, it
Okay.
still feels hard.
The last, I don't know, year? I'm going to say year. It could be 2 years. It could be 6 months. I'll just say a year. You guys will correct me. You guys are typing Firouzja this and Ali Reza that and Ali Reza this and Firouzja that. That's all you ever type. You're just typing Firouzja and Ali Reza. That's all you do.
No, my last name's not Fangol.
Where's Ali Reza now? He played in the Rapid. How did he do? Nobody knows. He's playing in the Blitz. How's he doing? Nobody knows. The truth hurts. So all your internet guys that you think are the best players who ever lived, where are they now? And the answer is the truth hurts. That's the answer. Ali Reza, Naka has 9 draws out of 8 games. Naka hasn't lost a game in either event, right? In the Rapid or the Blitz. Sounds good. And he came tied for 5th in the Rapid, and he's like tied for 5th in the Blitz. How do you not lose a game ever, but you're not even in the top 4? Because, he draws a lot. And then Fabi's loses every game. Terrible. And Hans Niemann starts out well. Then he plays good players, and that's the end of him. Andrew Tang beats people who are 2,200. And if you're 2,400, watch out. Fidel Corrales-Jimenez is playing in this tournament. Basically, the only Americans allowed in this tournament are ones that I've destroyed, like the American Gelfand. Okay, Gelfand has relatives in the U.S., in Minnesota and St. Louis, I think. Mainly just Minnesota. True story. And then, so he actually comes to the U.S. to visit his relatives sometimes. And Fidel's like my greatest game ever. And you guys are like, Fidel's playing in the tournament? Because most of the guys that you think are the greatest guys who ever lived, they got -1 because tournament's really strong. Truth hurts. Some people like Karyakin, in the Rapid and in the Blitz, after 4, 5, 6 rounds, they're in the bottom of the table. And then Karyakin comes on strong. I don't know why Karyakin starts so badly. In the last World Blitz, the last one, 2019,
Yeah.
Carlsen lost 1 game. Today he lost 3 games. And one of the games that he won, he was just dead lost. He blundered a pawn, he was lost, sacked a piece for nothing, and then his opponent blundered in time trouble. Possibly Sindarov. I don't know. Possibly. What's going on here?
I was just giving a little love to F. Cuck.
Yeah. There's no women playing in this event, so I can't show the women's games. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Hey, he loves you too.
Man, Carlsen was getting crushed against that guy that I was talking about. I don't know why Naka's drawing so many games. Obviously,
like
Naka's
that.
the main perpetrator of the 5-10 move draw, but he's only done that like 3 or 4 times in the 4 days, which is more than everybody else. But he's drawing a lot of games that are 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 moves, but I don't know why. It's hard to draw. Giri can do it.
I thought historically he was more trying to win.
Yeah, but now he's old.
Well, yeah.
No. Gutnina. I don't know. That's another tournament. Yeah. Go Fedoseev. Fedoseev beat whom in this tournament? Of note. Of note.
I'm trying to remember.
Who's the of notist?
I don't know.
Who's the most noticed player? Who's the most noted?
Carlson?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Fedoseev beat Carlson with black. And the whole game, Leko was like, Fedoseev sucks, and his children suck, and his openings suck, and he sucks, and Magnus is doing great. And then they looked at some other game and came back, and Magnus just lost all his pieces. It's true. They were like making fun of Fedoseev during the game. Why is his opening repertoire so bad? Carlson always beats him. He's such an easy opponent for Carlson. And then Fedoseev crushed Carlson after they said that. And Leko pointed out, man, as soon as I said that, then he started crushing. It was funny. It's like he heard me. Yeah.
I'm so thirsty.
You guys think I make fun of the players?
Oh, wow.
Man, Leko was all over Fedoseev. Worst opening, ever, and the worst player, and what's wrong with him? God damn. And so forth.
What's the plan? I'm really thirsty.
What's the plan? What's happening?
Well, we don't have any more games, right?
All right, yeah, that's it.
And then I'm thirsty and recovering from COVID. So
I mean, she said that 4 years ago when it didn't exist.
I kind of want to lay down.
Didn't you take a 7-hour nap today?
I did take a nap. I mean, I feel more tired than usual. Plus, I got up at 6 in the morning.
Leko is married to a GM's daughter. So Arshak Petrosian, a Petrosian you've never heard of, is Leko's father-in-law. So his father-in-law is a grandmaster, but his wife is not.
I'm not fluffed and ready, COVID.
Ooh, tickle.
COVID.
Did Andrew Tang win a game yet? No, he hasn't won a game in the first 4 days. Also, he's in first place in both events.
I got COVID now. Come on.
Is MVL just not good anymore? Man, truth hurts. Man, harsh.
Yeah.
Danya won both events. Even before the Blitz ended, he won. Yeah. All the streamers you watch that you think are the best players in the world, they won every event. They're all at the top. All of them.
I'm super thirsty. I think it's the Sudafed drying me out.
Even Levy. Yeah, Levy won too. Levy was invited to the event, and he was allowed to play. What?
You'll take some COVID? Well, this variant wasn't too bad for me.
Yeah. Tang won 6 Blitz games today. Tang did have good pairings until he didn't. Yeah. A lot of Tang's opponents I never heard of. Then when I heard of them, that wasn't good for Tang. I mean, Tang just plays bad sometimes. I mean like from a chess skill point of view, Tang, I don't mean like his result. I mean like look at his game. When Carlson wins, when Naka wins, which I know is rare, when Grishuk wins, it looks good. When Tang loses, it looks like Tang don't know how to play chess. Like that move, it's not that he blunders, the moves doesn't make any sense. So in Blitz chess and Bullet, you can recover from that. But, not if you're playing Carlson, then Naka, then Faruja, and then Grishuk, then Aronian. Then you can't play badly. You can't be like, oh, I'll trick them later and I'll beat them on time. No. That's how you beat me. That's not how you beat those guys. Man, there's so many good players. Like, you lose all your games, then you play somebody really good. That's not fair.
COVID has been linked to cognitive decline. I wonder if that's evident in the online chess rating.
In slow chess, Tang is probably very slightly better than me.
Probably not.
Probably. In online Ultra Bullet, he's 1 billion times better than me. He's so good at Ultra Bullet, or whatever they call it online, it skews how good that you think he should be in slow chess. It's really weird. The only one who's like that I know is Naroditsky, except Naroditsky's clearly better than Tang in slow chess. But Naroditsky in Ultra Bullet and Bullet is probably top 15 in the world online, and in real life, he's not. But Tang is like a little better than me in slow chess, like a little. But in Ultra Bullet, he's the best. I mean, he's insane.
Yeah, what is Ultra
He was
Bullet?
like 30 seconds or less for
Okay.
the whole game. 10 seconds, 30. And he was actually playing in like 2 tournaments at once when he was playing in our tournament and winning all of his games. He was playing blindfold. He was like eating Tang. So Tang online is a genius of the highest caliber. But when he shows his face, that's not as good. A couple of years ago, he played in the U.S. Junior, and they were like, man, he's having a bad tournament. He should win this. And I said, no, he's like the 5th rated. He gave him 5th. Truth hurts. Man, the U.S. Junior's tough. Those are tough events. Right. Online, there's no equal. I mean, Tang is... Online, Tang, in my opinion, has the biggest differential in slow chess to bullet and ultra bullet of anybody on earth. He's like 400 points better online in bullet. So if all you do is watch him play bullet, then online, then, he's great. But if you watch him play blitz and rapid against the best players in the world, you will be disappointed if it's in real life. Online, you might not be disappointed. Maybe. Like, I would bet on Tang and bullet and ultra bullet against everybody in the world except like 4 people. But in this tournament, he'll be lucky to finish in the top 100, and there's only 80 players.
Yeah, I do need to get a beverage.
Yeah, truth hurts. Click per second challenges. Yeah. No, I mean, he's an online genius. And Naroditsky is amazing online, right? And in fact, Karen said Naroditsky was more amazing online than I knew. But I know what she was talking about. Yeah. All right, who should I raid? XQC?
Let me see.
I don't know who half your people are.
Well, this is one obvious candidate, and here's
Right.
another one. There's 2.
Mm-hmm. You pick.
I'd go with this one right here.
But it's past his bedtime. Right?
All right, bye, everybody.
Also, half point bye. Yeah. See you guys tomorrow.
See you.
Go Tang and I guess Hans Niemann. Bye.